the band Thirsty Curses.
Yes.
We have our music out on all the streaming sites, thirstycurses.com, youtube.com/thirstycurses. Anything that any social media spot or place on the internet where there's usually bands, we're there, and it's under Thirsty Curses. But yeah,
That's awesome.
we're a rock and roll band from Raleigh, North Carolina. We play a bunch of different, sort of garage rock genres, and we just came out with a new album at the beginning of March called "To the Ends of the Earth." It's been getting some play, and I guess that's why I'm here. That's what I'm here to talk about.
Yes. So, how did you get started doing this whole music thing?
I started playing drums when I was like 13, but I really gotten into music. My brother, I have an older brother who's like 9 years older than me, but when I was a kid, he did a thing for me where he like gave me like 5 different albums from every decade for like a series of birthdays and Christmases.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got like, a 60s batch or 50s batch, a 60s batch, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And it was that kind of got me into like rock and roll and being like, that looks like a cool thing to do. And then I started playing drums first and then kind of picked up other instruments along the way from there. That's
pretty badass. That is
right on.
That is pretty badass. So, when you started playing an instrument, what motivated you to pick up the instrument that your first instrument?
Well, I guess I had a friend who played guitar, and so if we were going to start a band, we needed a drummer. So that was kind of my how I went about selecting that. And then, most of the bands I was in high school, I would play the drums and sing and stuff. And I think at some point I was like, it would be a lot easier if I just was the front man or something. So
that's awesome too.
I started playing guitar and like shortly after the drums, and then I don't know. I picked up piano like maybe like 8 years ago or something. But yeah, I mean, I was motivated too by I don't know. I was a big Beatles guy when I was like in middle school and high school, and like I was very motivated by trying to kind of emulate them and their songwriting and all that.
That's awesome. Thirsty Curses with us today. Explain this name, Thirsty Curses, to me.
I guess it's a clever way to say alcoholism, but
that's awesome.
I mean, it's kind of got a double meaning too. Because now the kids say thirsty, it means kind of like kind of means horny or whatever. But I don't just kind of the cloud of vice that can hang over your head. I guess that's kind of the idea.
That's awesome. So you're getting a lot of reception on Spotify and YouTube and some of these places. What has been the reaction to your music and everything?
The reaction is typically positive. I mean, I think the struggle more is just getting people to hear it because, there's just so many bands out there these days. It's a very competitive industry, if you will. But, I mean, people tend to like it. I think we have a little bit of something for everybody. Like, we're kind of all over the place genre-wise. So if you like punk and hardcore, we've got a couple songs for you. If you like yacht rock, we got a couple songs for you, So, I mean... generally speaking, when we can get in front of people's ears, it's been perceived really well. So that's been certainly positive and rewarding and all that.
Thirsty Curses with us today. They join us here on our big program and live on 990 WBOB, also kjagradio.com. And the mix on Tuesdays. And fantastic guest with us today. Thirsty Curses is the band, and they have got some amazing stuff. And you look like a rocker. On Skype, you look like, if I was gonna, call Central Casting and order a rock and roll guy, they'd send you over.
Right on. Well, I guess you gotta look the part, So,
that's right.
But it's funny. I actually have a day job at like a law firm, and they I guess I keep working there because they let me look like this, but stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, playing music for, I don't know, the band's been around since like 2017. We've put out 4 albums. We did a brief stint with like a record label at one point, but this most recent album we just released independently. We found that was sort of the way to go, in at least our experiences. But yeah, I don't know. Album's got 13 tracks. Some of my favorites are Jenny, Whistle Pig, What the Hell, and maybe a tune called, oh yeah, there's a one called Nothing Really Matters that has been kind of a surprising hit, I guess, just because it's sort of like a hardcore punk song, but it's actually been getting a fair amount of play.
So tell me about Whistle Pig. We're going to play that here in a few moments.
Yeah, that song, the music for that song had been kind of kicking around for a couple of years, but during the early stages of the lockdown, I guess I wrote lyrics to it finally. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, just everything that was so disorienting about 2020 and 2021, and I guess even into the now, just with all the pandemic and I guess now war. But I don't know, the song is just kind of about kind of trying to get your bearings when everything seems to be going to hell.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to do this. I'm going to place you on a brief hold here on Skype. We're going to play Whistle Pig, and we'll be back here with Thirsty Curses. Right now, it is Whistle Pig, and it's here on the big program.
Shake, 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 but you can't get loose. Just something else to weigh you down, something else to carry around. You gotta be calculated, gotta be cool, you gotta be willing to bend the rules. Yeah, and clench your teeth, hold on tight, no, you don't end up stuck in the mirror. Yeah, nothing makes sense, you better get used to it. Yeah, 'cause things are only gonna get weirder. Rats in the wall, cover your mouth. I wonder how long they've been listening. Who can you trust? Nobody knows. You try love, 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 but it does no good. Something else to weigh you down, something else to carry around. You gotta be practical, you gotta be cool, you gotta be ready when it's time to move. And clench your teeth, hold on tight, no, you don't end up stuck in the mirror. Yeah, nothing makes sense, you better get used to it. Yeah, 'cause things are only gonna get weirder. Bugs in the kitchen putting on a parade. How did this happen and what does it mean? You try stop, 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 yeah, but it's no good. They've already taken over the neighborhood. Who can you trust? Nobody told you try love, 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 but it does no good. You gotta be rational, you gotta be cool, you gotta be willing to bend the rules. Yeah, and clench your teeth, hold on tight, no, you don't end up stuck in the mirror. Yeah, nothing makes sense, you gotta get used to it. Yeah, 'cause things are only gonna get weirder.
Is Thirsty Curses. And we are going to go back to them here on our big program. And thanks for joining us here on our big broadcast. And we are going to go back to Thirsty Curses. And that was it's a really cool song. You guys have put some cool stuff here.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of my favorites from the album, no doubt. I think it's like kind of got a cool sludge sound almost to it. But yeah, I don't know. It's a cool song. The name Whistle Pig too. Like when we kind of were initially kicking around the music, it would just go. It would play the riff like the down 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 Whistle Pig. But so, we just decided to keep the name once the lyrics were changed. But yeah,
That's great.
but yeah.
Thirsty Curses with us today. They join us live here in our broadcast. ThirstyCurses.com is the official website. Go over to ThirstyCurses.com. Also, they're on Spotify, Facebook, and the YouTube as well. And you guys have put together some really cool music here. Tell me about the writing process for this album that you guys have.
Yeah, I mean, I typically do most of the songwriting for the band. And a lot of these songs were kind of born out of the pandemic state of mind. Kind of like I was saying with Whistle Pig, just, everything that was upended with the lockdowns and sort of just, disruptions to day-to-day life. I mean, there's a lot of that in this. Me too. I also went through a breakup during the pandemic, so some of that's kind of reflected in this. And writing typically for me is just it's one of those things that whenever I try to force it, it doesn't, and I'm not really happy with the product. And a lot of these songs like maybe took some time to kind of finally flesh out and get them to where we wanted to get. But yeah, I mean, What the Hell too, it was a song off the album track 4. That one's kind of a slow old country song. I mean, that one's sort of about substance abuse issues, which is pretty common thing I think a lot of people can relate to these days. But yeah, I mean, just generally speaking, I kind of write from personal experiences, what's going on in my life or the world at a given moment, and kind of draw inspiration from that.
That's awesome. Thirsty Curses with us today. They join us live here on our big broadcast. So Nothing Really Matters. Tell me a little bit about this track. We're going to play it here in a few moments.
Yeah, okay. I remember like several years ago, there was like a Time article, or like the Time magazine, like had a cover that was called, the cover title was like, "We're all socialists now," and this song has like a repeating line like, that we're all nihilists now. But I don't know, it just kind of felt like everything's gotten so cynical in recent years. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of writing from that perspective, myself included, that everyone's just, sort of maybe all of our attitudes are bad or something. But yeah, that's what the song's about. Nothing really matters, sort of a feeling like we're engulfed in nihilism all the time.
Well, we are going to do this. Nothing Really Matters is next, and we're going to place you on a brief hold, and I'll be right back with you. Hold on, brother. Be right with you. We're going to do Nothing Really Matters. It is here on our big program.
One of these days I'm gonna get out of the South. I'm gonna pack up my shit, yeah, and burn down this house. And on the way out of Dodge, yeah, I'll be all grins and laughs. I don't know where I'm going, but I ain't ever coming back. And I'm just gonna drive, yeah, till I run out
it just kind of ends. That's quite the deal. We are going to go back live to our guest. He is going to join us here on our big program, Coast to Coast and Border to Border on iHeartRadio. And that was Nothing Really Matters by the Thirsty Curses. And they join us back live here on our big broadcast, the Thirsty Curses. And you can get more information on the Twitter machine at Thirsty Curses. And, of course, thirstycurses.com is the official website. Go over and check that out today. So, what do you guys have planned now that this album is out there?
Now that the album is out and the world seems to actually be reopening, we're playing a lot regionally at the moment. We've got shows kind of around North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina in the coming months. And we're hoping to do like a fall tour, probably be mostly along, in the east, but we may well get out west too. But that's kind of the plan right now. We got a festival that we're playing coming up in May called Wampus Cat. It's in North Carolina. But yeah, we're just trying to play some shows and promote the record. Especially now, we got to play a fair amount out last year. We toured a lot in like the Southeast where there was a lot of venues still operating, but it was still, even with that, it was kind of, I don't know, it just wasn't the same. It wasn't like the before times, but we're hoping that this year we'll finally like break back into the good times.
Well, that's great. Well, this has been fun. Thank you for doing this, my friend. I really enjoyed having you on and playing some of your music. Thanks for doing this, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for playing our tunes. And maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Definitely. Keep me updated on new music and everything, and we'll get you back on, brother.
All right, excellent. I appreciate your time too, and everyone out there, have a good night.
Definitely. Thank you, brother. Have yourself a wonderful day.
All right.
Appreciate it, man. There he goes. That is Thirsty Curses. You can get more information, thirstycurses.com. That is the official website. Go over to thirstycurses.com for more from Thirsty Curses.